られるという危険もあり得る。
てめえ何しやがるんだ。
ああ。
どうしてくれるんだ金ガキ。弁償できんのか。400万リラのスーツだぞ。わまたれたら
敵だなてめえ。
何。
敵か敵か
敵か敵か
敵かだ。
待てなるんじゃミス。こいつは敵ではないようだ。気絶してやがる。ただの罪のない一般人だぜこれ。
Now, people call these alpha podcasts, and when you've studied it like I have, you get this hint that behind it all, it's really just the nice guy podcast. Because once you've watched this video, just tell me you see it too. Now, we had this problem when reviewing Call Me Daddy. Just check this out.
And also, in addition to that, your longest relationship. Go ahead.
I'm very much as single as they come.
My longest relationship has been 10 months.
Longest relationship was like a year and a half.
None of them are successful at dating, let alone relationships. Like, people are going to others who failed the exam over and over again for advice. Now, people have preferences.
Hey there, Brianna, heard you got that fat ass booty. I'm 1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight that ass look juicy, yes you do. No one got a badonka-donk like you, I swear it's true.
Now, there are evolutionary, unconscious to unconscious preferences, psychological and biological. Guys tend to date taller girls, girls prefer higher status men, and guys go for anything. Damn! But let's check out what their preference is.
What are the requirements for a wife? Well, she's got to love the Lord. She's got to be unvaccinated.
Let me just look through my bitch encyclopedia. Disregard yourself, put your faith into one book which you cherry pick from, have a polarizing take on a given political topic that you don't know much about. To be fair, if you had a Tinder profile, would it not be this?
Hey women of Tinder, I'm 20 years old, have never had the attention of a real woman before. Figured I'd try my luck here. Never dated. Cis-het white Canadian male, avid gamer, PC master race. If you're looking for a man to treat you like just because he's attractive, you're stupid as I offer genuine love and unwavering commitment to you. Looking for real relationships, preferably a traditional conservative woman. Won't ask for nudes, cause chivalry still exists.
I love how I'm just using PewDiePie to help me with this. Now, there is this sort of double standard, right, that, women can talk about their preferences, but get upset if men talk about theirs. But the reality is, both genders hate hearing the other gender's preference. And is it not just kind of simple? Dress well, do your hair, work out, have fun hobbies, good social group, good career path, treat people around you well, good conversation and humour. But often they're just complaining and whining about the preferences most of the time, and it just makes me think of a certain meme.
I wish some girl could see past my looks and just like me for who I am. I love you, Robert! Yes, but you're ugly.
But in short, it's just be your best self. Why would you offer someone you love anything less? If we're talking preference, your partner's going to be a reflection on you. The better you are, the better your partner. Simple math. But kind of ask yourself this. It's the best version of you, the one who spends 5 hours watching this podcast on how to get girls, or is the better version of you going gym, building stuff, out with friends, hobbies, listening to comedy? I'm gonna bring this up because a lot of people are going to be going, yo, wait, Andrew, but you're fat. And yeah, I am. I went from this to this because the idea was, yo, you know what I'll do? I'm going to do 30 days going gym or just losing weight and get the appreciation that fat people get when they lose weight, and I'll get a bunch of subscribers, views, and clout for it. And then I gained way too much weight, and then I had to move so I couldn't go gym. And it just came into this whole awkward bit, and now I'm losing it again, and I'm going to hopefully be done soon, and then I'm going to actually post a H3 video and mock him for how easy losing weight is. Now, after 15 hours of watching this podcast, I've kind of come to a conclusion that these people might lack humor. And I don't even have to be cruel with it. I can pick out their funniest jokes, and they're still bad.
I'm not a physical person.
You've never thrown an axe at a boyfriend or anything like
Axe?
that? No, but
a Tupperware or some shit.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna go with Audi on this one. But
yeah, you like those beef curtains, bro.
I How dare you, sir?
This is when you.
How dare you?
This is when you say
use
guilty as
that-
charged.
Guilty as charged.
Yep.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
And you know who made the funniest joke? Just for some context. The gal does OnlyFans.
Appearances on the show, Chase, and you haven't asked anyone if they would like to accept Christ into their life. The Lord's will compels it.
Bringing somebody to Jesus.
Have you converted people?
Yeah, I brought a lot of my friends to Christ.
I just burst into flames right now. I feel the heat.
Like, you don't have to be a professional comedian, but part of having a good time with someone is them laughing. It's like if you're on a date or with friends and you're laughing, you're like, damn, it's a good time. If someone makes you laugh, you want to hang out with them more. And even psychology is like, damn, making girls laugh is overpowered. But I wonder why they're not very funny.
I'll speak for myself on this one. Okay, I don't go to bars, I don't go to clubs, I don't go to parties.
Oh, he's a loser! He's boring! But look, if you're an adult and you're saying the word like cap, similar to the 15-year-olds, that has got to be kind of cringe. Let alone the beta males who quote Conor McGregor.
I'd like you to apologize to all the women out there.
I just want to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Wow.
Now I want to talk about the panel, because the panel usually consists of influencers, and influencers are just shallow people, right? And no one enjoys shallow people. And if you watch the show, you might be able to connect the dots here, right? So let's go through a list together. 6 traits of shallow people. They only care about physical appearance. They seek validation. They only talk about superficial things. They are materialistic. They are poor listeners. They are hypocrites. And no one likes shallow women, and no one likes shallow men. So here's a little Yelp review complaint about the podcast. You know how some feminists will use feminism as just a way to hate on men? I think some people watching this ignore the fact they're shallow people and instead just paint it as woman to justify their hate in women. Best seen by the donations.
Jay, thank you for the $10 soup chat. This panel smells like pumpkin spice latte, fresh eggs, and dry. Okay, thank you, man. Appreciate
any
it.
of those things.
Freshest toothbrush, thank you for the $10 soup chat. Never seen so many girls proud of being used up. Then we wonder how so many people are passing around diseases. Jesus
What does that mean?
Christ.
It reminds me a little bit of Casey Tron, who is this famous troll in League of Legends. And what she would do is she'd come off like this dumb, shallow broad, and then would donate money. And I mean, they would donate lots of money just to insult her. She made a living off it.
Oh wow, $1 from Fear My Birth. Nice tits, but you are a dirty ass slut with a huge vag. You look like a very retarded Miley Cyrus. Your dad probably wishes he pulled out, but instead he dropped you on your head. Explain through low IQ. Do Jesus a favor and drink bleach. Love, Fear My Birth. Drinking bleach would not taste very good. Thank you. Oh wow, it looks like $1 from Cheatham. You're a sweetheart and your stream is a real inspiration. You showed me that even mentally challenged girls can make a living streaming games as long as they have nice tits. I respect and appreciate your professional gamer boobs. From Cheatham. Thank you so much, Cheatham. I really appreciate that.
And no hate to women and no hate to those men. I just think, usually it's just a phase, right? They just had negative experiences with the opposite gender, but the moment they work on themselves, get better at reading people and everything, it'll usually go away. Otherwise, it's sort of this self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're going to go hang out with someone, and in your head you've already pre-painted them as a sort of shallow, degenerate, judgmental, cheating creature, chances are it won't go well. So in a way, hating women while also trying to watch some sort of dating podcast, it's like, bruv, you're already cockblocking yourself in the best way possible. But I would like to talk to you about pee-pee size, just because I love this clip.
Is it a wrap for you? Let's say you really like a guy, but first time you're hooking up and he's not really particularly impressive in the bulge department.
I think that God's got it under control. I don't think I need to
God wouldn't give me a man with a micro penis. Let's ask a God if size matters. Does penis size matter? And what does the Bible say? Conclusion. I truly believe every man is capable of satisfying his wife regardless of their penis size. We must view the marriage bed as part of a whole. There are other things that must be dealt with that sex can never fix. And being good in bed isn't about penis size and how best you handle the whole process. Written by a man with a small penis. Let's talk Christianity. So let me give you context right now. Chase is a simp. The moment she said, I love guns and conservatives, Chase's heart skipped a beat. And since then, he would occasionally look over, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not going to spend a minute breaking down all the moments that gave it away. Chase likes this girl. Just watch it for yourself. But sadly, this girl has a boyfriend. Now, this girl on the right just said how she ended up leaving one guy for another guy. Now, usually that's a red flag, right? There's no reflection on why the relationship failed. You know, that breakup phase, you're like, well, what went wrong? Is it with me or them? And similar to skateboarding, if you have it where in the back of your mind you can bail, you're gonna bail. And it kind of shows the person can't really handle being alone. There's a lot of reasons why it's a red flag, basically. But instead of saying that, Christian woman here said,
that's what my grandma says. Don't let your boyfriend stop you from meeting your husband.
Ooh, love that.
But respectfully, don't cheat on people. That's messed up.
And Chase saw his moment.
If I may add one thing too to what Deborah was saying, like I came from a broken home, and like there's a lot of people out there who think like, yes, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person, but they'll ignore like minor signs that there could be serious red flags, and then things fall apart down the line. Like it takes time to find the person that you're actually meant to spend the rest of your life with, you know, and it's not something that you should just rush into.
Chase, being a simp, decided to try and convert his neighbor's wife by trying to infuse doubt in the relationship. I knew it was going well, but you know, it could just collapse all of a sudden.
And just because they have a flaw, because I don't really have any flaws, I'm a great husband. You know, if they have one flaw and you just realize it, just break up with them. Don't address them. Don't tell them about that flaw and work through it. No. Break up with them and find me.
Men actually have to earn the privilege of becoming a hoe.
That's a fact.
Men can't just be hoes. They have to work for it. So, you know, with girls, you can just go out there and get laid whenever you want to.
So why are Christians, in a way, so bothered by how unfair it is for men to get laid? When in those religious standards, that's degenerate. It's about finding a wife, not dating and sleeping around. And finally, I kind of lost the clip here, but you'll believe me when I say it. It's a classic point. Basically, women can't cheat, but men can, because evolutionary, we just want to spread our seed. It's something that a high-value man does. Imagine I said, a woman should be allowed to cheat. It is better for society if she has that top man's genetics instead of yours. And it's natural. Your everything shouldn't reproduce when there's someone much better right there. You're replaceable, he's not. You should shake his hand and then shake your wife's hand and rear his children. In short, they're just awful Christians, by the way. Cheating, regardless of gender, is wrong, obviously. Now, I don't enjoy people's conception of dominant and alpha. Like, I don't get why submissive for a girl means they must practically be in a coma. Like, they want to dominate them, but Lord forbid a woman challenges them. Because, they'll get angry if she has a belief. I just don't understand why being so powerful and dominant you have to be a bad manager. No regard for them. They do as they're told, believe what you believe, and they live under the thumb. Rather, I'm just going to hear you out, we'll come to a conclusion together, and then we'll head in the best direction. Or rather, instead of telling someone, go gym, when does that ever really work? You have to do something a bit more inspiring, such as, when you go gym, you're respecting yourself, and so on. So they come to that conclusion, and they're like, wow, I had that thought. I just think when it comes to this sort of like dominant power alpha thing, they want the status, they want the authority, they want all the benefits with no work, and it just comes out as corrupt. Like, think about it. If you love someone, you want to leave them alone. You want them to be who they are. If you start controlling them and moving them around and all that, they're not going to be the person you loved. And then why would you even love them if you had to get them and then try and change them for who they are? I just think it's kind of funny that these people would support free speech, freedom, just not for their girlfriend. Which leads us into boundaries.
You said one of your big issues is that men cheating, right? If you could find a guy that you, let's say in magical world, you guaranteed knew that he would never cheat on you. His one condition, though, is that you could not go out to bars, clubs, and parties anymore, ever. Would you be with that man?
Absolutely not.
There it is. There it is.
What do you mean? Of course not. That's controlling, and I'm not here for that.
It's not. If I found some great woman, she's beautiful, I want to make her my wife, okay? If she's like, yeah, I want to go out to clubs all the time without you, it's like, okay, I don't want that, because what happens is beautiful women go to clubs and they get hit on by chads.
And I'm scared. I don't want a chad to steal my wife. There's no way my wife could resist a chad. Look at him.
This really reminds me, you'll meet these dudes where, like, before the night out, they'll just talk about pulling, and then they'll fail, and then afterwards on the cab ride home, they'll be crying and calling it a bad night. Even though everyone had a good time, they were like, I didn't get laid. I mean, people go out for fun, right? We get drunk at prees, we burn some leg hair, maybe set a shoe on fire, scream in the car park, condom bomb. We get there, we dance a little bit, drink more, go home, throw some knives at the Chuckle Brothers, and then wake up with a banging hangover. And I think if you're a girl, you do something like this.
No, you'll break a leg. Oh my god, you're gonna get arrested.
Oh my god, is that Daniela? Oh my god, that is fucking Daniela.
Oh my god.
Now, like, if you're worried about cheating, here's an idea. Here's just an idea. Why not try and make your relationship with that person really unique, fun, adventurous, deep, just filled with memories and good times where it would just hurt them too much to cheat. It wouldn't make sense. The relationship is so good, to cheat would be crazy. Like, our 1 year or 2 year or 3 year experience is not going to be like, oh yeah, I just met you and I'm going to get with you. And if she does cheat, then what did you lose? You're a great boyfriend, she's an awful girlfriend, she's a cheater, you're fine, you won. And now she has to live knowing that she can never have that life again and some other girl will. Otherwise it's sort of this like self-prophecy. I see it quite often where they'll start to control them, they'll ruin the relationship due to their insecurity to the point where it either breaks up or it just goes down a not so nice path that ends up in cheating, and they'll sit there going like, oh man, these ladies. It's like, dude, you brought it upon yourself in a way. But let's actually talk getting laid.
Okay, the question is,
If they don't want to speak,
do women have dating on easy mode as compared to men? Agree or disagree?
Now, who has an easier time getting laid? Woman. But I just want to kind of bring this up. Don't really ever listen to dating advice. Like, a shortcut into a girl's pants will just end up being a long cut in your life. Now, from my experience, right, it is easier to find a relationship than it is to actually get laid. That's why F-boys kind of just give them false promises. Like, yeah, we will be in a relationship at one point, I'm sure of it. So although girls have it easier getting laid, when it comes to, say, finding love in a good relationship, the playing field really evens out a little bit. But I think dating is a waste of time. Take it from this man.
I've been in my bag, I can't even talk. We chase a bitch, man, I can't even walk.
Because really, you should just be investing in yourself. I think the reality is the best people aren't even dating. They're just working on themselves all the time and they're not slotting it in. Because the way I've seen most people kind of get together is through a friend of a friend at a party or something along that nature. Usually just you meet them from another group. And it just kind of kicks off in this weird storyline of fate where it's like, no, we just really connected on the night and then blah, 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 blah. But I feel like when you force it, I don't know if you've ever gone to a girl and try to force like a date or anything, it just doesn't work as well. And it kind of shows desperation. I swear down, like dating is like hunger, right? If you're hungry, you need a good meal to come to actually make you want to eat it. And if you're hungry, kind of like any meal will do. But if you're starving, it's like cannibalism and self-cannibalism. Like, take a guy that's like really insecure and desperate, right? He wants within the first month for the girl to say, we'll get married, we'll have kids and be together forever. So immediately, the only girl that can actually win him over is going to be a liar. And needless to say, the relationship will crash and burn. This is what I mean by your partner's a reflection on you. But I want to bring this up.
But
usually they give them a chance.
The thing about that example, Kiko, is the type of dudes that are going to bars are gregarious, outgoing guys who like have confidence in their game, and they know that there's attractive girls out there, and they want to go talk to them. That is not representative of the average male population.
Okay, but like how Sam said,
I hate to victim blame, but it's 100% your fault. That or it's just not in your control and you're already pathetic and useless, but you know, is the world isolating you or you isolate yourself from the world? Like, why not go skateboarding? You want to get into a relationship and go down that road or do all these other things, but you're too scared to go down a ramp? You could have pubs, boxing, and yoga if you want a female-dominant hobby. You may be like, oh, but yoga's beta. It's like, dude, Joe Rogan does it. But the whole thing just comes off as a sort of like whining, which is just like admitting defeat and weakness over like the problems. And why would any partner, be it female or male, want a partner that is whining and being useless, you know, being pathetic, like, well, I can't do anything about it.
The odds are that these men, they're probably lacking in something. They're probably not interesting. They're probably lack conversation skills.
And I really enjoy this because when people start questioning why they're so stupid, that's when people actually improve. Because people are kind of scared of the best version of themselves, right? You know how people don't want to be alone with that inner voice, or they're kind of scared to be a person who sees themselves as the trash they are. But the person who sees them as the trash they are is probably the person who will actually change them for the better. because they're setting the bars higher. And then you kind of realize, a lot of these people realize, you were just kind of scared of that loving side of yourself. They just wanted the best for you and wasn't happy with where you currently were. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. This video is getting a bit too long. And in time watching all those podcasts and making this, writing the script, I can't anymore. Do like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. I don't earn any money from this. And that gives my channel the sort of expiry date. And I don't want to have an expiry date where I have to give it up and focus on other things. I don't want to. I think that's when you die. That's when you give up on your dreams. But yeah, tell me in the comments if you just get that hint of the nice guy. Like, because that archetype of nice guy never disappeared. So I'm thinking maybe that nice guy is actually what's fueling these alpha podcasts in a way, where they're now all cramming to it. Like, so I'm in the friend zone, and I want you to talk about how if a guy's from a friend zone, that gal is like looking past the best guy of her life. She probably isn't.